Hello, it's May from Mayramics. It has been a while and I thought it's been a few months since we've been to Japan, so I thought what I'd do today is just basically run through some of the things we bought and give a really honest review about what I liked and what I didn't like. If you are headed over to Japan and you're having a think about what you might want to purchase while you're over there, because I can completely understand how overwhelming it can be with the amount of like Instagram reels and viral products and posts and stuff like that all over the internet. Hopefully this video might give you a little insight into whether or not you might like the product or whether or not you might want to give it a skip. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more updates in the future. Alright, let's get into it. Starting with hair masks. So I have the Fino Premium Touch hair mask and also the Tsubaki Premium Repair mask. Now both of these are pretty cheap. I think they're both about sub $10 Aussie. And if I were to choose between the two, I would definitely go with the Tsubaki one over the Fino. I feel like in terms of how it leaves my hair feeling, I feel like it feels pretty smooth and like silky after I actually use it. I definitely do prefer the smell of the Tsubaki hair mask compared to the Fino one. If I could best describe it, I feel like the Fino one smells like a hair salon, whereas the Tsubaki one definitely smells more like fruity. The texture is actually a bit smoother compared to the Fino, which sometimes I feel like it feels a little bit grainy is probably not the right word, but it just doesn't feel as smooth as the Tsubaki one. So I definitely prefer this one over Fino. Moving on to Muji finds, I would definitely recommend getting the lipstick there. I ended up getting this color in 01, but I think there's actually like an English color for it as well. I think it was like something like Petal. I have been using this like religiously and I have this much left, and honestly I'm quite sad about it. I will definitely be hunting for this in Japan again. I feel like this color is a like maybe Japan specific one, because I tried looking for this in Melbourne, in Malaysia, in Singapore, and I could not find it. It's just my go-to color. It is the prettiest like pouty kind of pink color, and also the color's actually so saturated. So if you can see that, it's pretty opaque, and it also looks really natural, and it also stays on for quite a while. It's definitely not one of those that I would say is like a long-lasting lipstick, so you definitely have to apply it after eating, but that's something that I don't mind because it leaves my lips feeling quite moisturized. So I would definitely recommend getting these Muji ones. There's a whole bunch of other colors. A whole bunch of other colors as well, and it comes in this little brown packaging if you're looking out for it. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of colors. Definitely 01 has been my favorite. 02 was more of like an orangey color, quite light. It's like a light pink, but it's a little bit orangey as well. And 03 I just haven't tried, but it's definitely more of a orange. So would definitely recommend getting these for the price that you pay for these. I can't remember exactly how much they were, but they were only a couple of bucks. For the price that you pay, this is so worth getting. Highly recommend getting. I've talked about these in a separate video on my channel, but two other things that I would definitely buy again if I were to go to Japan would be the insect repellent wipes and also the sunscreen wipes from Muji. These are just so handy to like pop in your handbag and then you've just got it on the go. You're not having to fumble around with like a spray bottle, and it makes such a difference when you're traveling as well. So what I found was like even when we went to the F1 earlier this year, these sunscreen wipes were just so easy to bring along and just like apply when we needed to. The only thing is these are only SPF 12, so it's obviously not as high of a sun, I guess like protection. It doesn't give you as high of a sun protection, but yeah, just still really handy to have, and it's just good for reapplying while you're on the go. With the insect repellent wipes, I feel like they are so effective. When I do use these, I don't get a single bite. It also smells really nice, so it doesn't smell really like strong, I would say, compared to other like insect repellent kind of like products that are on the market, and plus the wipes are also very easy to use. Another thing that I definitely recommend that you buy from Muji is this hair massager. It's USB chargeable like this. This is what the product looks like, with these little like rubber heads at the bottom. And it basically gives you a little like nice head massage, and there's 2 speeds as well. So I find that this is actually really helpful because it's also like waterproof, so you can actually use it in the shower. Personally, I don't really use it for that, but I find that it's like a really nice relaxing thing to use when I'm like using like a hair mask. So I'll just kind of give like my head a massage, and it's just to kind of like increase like blood circulation and whatnot, but it's just really nice, and it's a bit of a treat. Off the top of my head, I think it was like maybe like around 30 Aussie dollars. Really, really good. If you head to Japan, definitely recommend getting this one. If you're heading to Japan, I have no doubt that you have heard of Donki Quijote, and there is so much stuff that you can buy there. It's a very big shop, and it can get a little bit overwhelming to be shopping in there. I'm pretty sure those shops are designed to not have any windows at all, so you are just literally surrounded by walls and shelves of product, and it's very easy to lose track of time. So I guess it works in the sense that there's a lot of product in there, and there's like a bunch of things to choose from, but I can also see how it can get incredibly overwhelming with the amount of people, especially if you're going in while it's busy, and you're just shoulder to shoulder in a shop. It can definitely get a little bit stressful, so it's always really handy to just know, I think, or have an idea of what kind of products you might like before you go as well. To be mindful of that when you do shop at Donki Quijote is that some of the products that they sell can also be bought from other places like pharmacies, and more often than not, I actually did find that some of the prices at these pharmacies were actually cheaper, just because they had like, sometimes it's more like a better sort of like tax rebate, or sometimes they have like just better sales. So I wouldn't be too caught up in doing all your shopping at Donki Quijote. I would definitely check out like the smaller like pharmacies and other like departmental stores that you go and see, because yeah, it just might work out that there's more variety, there's more stock, and also it's less busy. I would definitely recommend getting these nail kits there. They're like little pens with little nail oil in them. It basically looks like this. So there's a brush on one end where you take this cap off, and then there's this little like twisty bit up here which basically pushes down the nail oil inside the pen, and then it distributes it into the brush here. I find that these pens are just so easy to just chuck into a handbag. I've had no issues with leaking, but it's just really nice, especially when you have like dry cuticles or something and you just want a little something to kind of like give your dry fingers a little bit more moisture. Really good, and it's only a couple bucks as well, so definitely worth grabbing a few. Something I would definitely recommend buying, I feel like this is such an odd thing to talk about on the internet, but it's a light up ear cleaner, and it basically allows you to see inside your ear. And I know that it does stay on if you press it as well, or if you hold the button. And I find that this is actually just really cool, honestly. I actually picked this up just because it looked like it was like some sort of like new invention of some sort. I think this was around like $26, so it definitely was on the pricier side for like something like an ear cleaner, quite honestly. But in terms of like invention wise, this is so clever. It's literally lights up and then you can see, you know, if there's any crap in your ears. So yeah, 26 bucks, definitely would recommend. Keep your ears clean. One of the products that I saw online that yeah, just really circulated the internet and everyone's like, this is a must buy product, is this vitamin C serum. I don't know what brand it is exactly, but that's what it looks like, and it's like some sort of like CC vitamin C serum. I don't rate it. The applicator is like this as well, so it's quite interesting, and it comes out like a little serum. Everyone was saying that this was really effective to fade sunspots, and I don't really have very severe sunspots, but I found that this did nothing, so it's a big no from me. I don't find myself really getting any results from using this whatsoever. Perhaps it's a more subjective skin thing, but yeah, this did not work for me. Would not recommend getting at all. One product that was viral, I guess you could call it, is this hair acne cream. It's just this little like white applicator. Look, nothing special about it. It's kind of spilling. I rate it. I haven't used a lot of it, as you can see, but I find that this is really effective when you do have like a pimple here or there. I find that it just really decreases like the inflammation and redness that I have with pimples. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I would buy this again, but obviously you really don't need much, and a little goes a long way. There is such a big selection of sunscreens in Japan. There's so many that it can actually get a little bit difficult to know exactly what you might want to buy. These are all ones that I got from Donki Quijote, and you can definitely buy them elsewhere as well. I also have a separate review on like sunscreens video up on my channel, so I will leave a link below in my description box. Just to quickly run through what I wouldn't buy again, definitely these ones, these Allie, or like Kanebo it seems to say, Allie Gel UV X and Facial Gel UV X. I would not buy these again. I've seen places like in Singapore selling them for like $40 Sing. I think it was like almost like double what I bought it in Japan for, and it smells, the texture's fine, but like, yeah, I just didn't see really anything going for it. I wouldn't buy it again. It just stinks. In terms of ones that I would buy again, obviously very dependent on your skin texture. This Biore UV Aqua Rich Aqua Protect Miss SPF 50. This was a lifesaver when it came to F1, because it was so refreshing just to have this to spritz on my face. Quite honestly, the spray function on this is a bit crap, but in terms of the product itself, I feel like it dries very quickly as well. So I did like that. I would buy it again, but yeah. In terms of the Anessa sunscreens, I do like these. They have a bit of a fragrance to them, but I find that this is really helpful in terms of the effect that it leaves on my skin just when my skin is feeling a little bit drier. In terms of the Anessa Perfect UV Sunscreen Milk, this one is very, very light in texture. It literally has the texture of milk, and when you put it on, your skin feels, or your face feels quite velvety. So if you don't like that kind of feeling or feel like it might feel a little bit oily, this might not be for you, but I find it's really helpful when it's feeling particularly dry outside. Well, this is a thicker cream, but again, it leaves a little bit of a sheen. So it really comes down to preference, honestly. I quite like this, especially on drier days, so I definitely recommend getting it. Definitely has a stronger fragrance though, so that's something to be mindful of. And oldie but a goodie is the Biore UV Watery Gel. Definitely recommend getting this one. It's a very light sunscreen, doesn't feel very oily, and it sinks into your skin very quickly and dries down really well. So highly recommend, and it doesn't smell very strong either. Another really good one is the Nivea UV Deep Protect and Care Gel Sunscreen. This one really took me by surprise. I've used other Nivea products before and they were fine. I wouldn't say that they were outstanding, so I honestly didn't really expect all that much from this Nivea sunscreen, but this has probably been one of my top favorite ones and I keep going back to it. Texture wise, it's very gel-like, very similar to the Biore UV gel one. Yeah, would definitely recommend buying that. One product that I really do like is this Miffy cleansing balm that I got from Donki Quijote. I only saw it in the, I think it was the Dotonbori Donki. I've used this for quite a few months, and at first I really loved it. Like the packaging actually held up really well, but as you can see, it no longer does. So I find myself actually having to like put another product on top to keep it closed. How the product actually works, I really do still love. It leaves my skin feeling really, really soft and smooth after, and the smell itself is like an apple yogurt smell, and it's very effective at taking off makeup. So in terms of the product wise, I really do like it. Packaging, no longer something that I like. Let's move on to the honey range, which has obviously been going viral on the internet. So there's obviously the honey shampoo. I've got the honey one in the bathroom right now, so I just have the ones that I have in storage. So this is like the melty one. There's like all these different ones. I bought a whole bunch of them because I wanted to give them a go, but I obviously had heard very good things online about it. I also tried samples of the honey shampoo when I was in Japan. They were selling these sachets for like one use sachets for, I think it was like $2 a pop, $2-3 a pop. If you are in Japan, I would highly recommend getting maybe like a bottle, but you can also get these refills. You can get the refills for about 10 Aussie and the pump bottles for about $14 Aussie each. So obviously it works out cheaper to buy the refills, but you just don't get the bottle. But if you just get, I guess, like one set of bottles, or you want to use your own bottles, it can also work out cheaper that way. In terms of the product itself, I actually really do like the shampoo. I didn't really feel like it made that much of a difference when I first used it, but I noticed a difference when I stopped using it. And I feel like that says a lot more. I find that my hair feels a lot more tamed, less frizzy when I'm using this shampoo. So definitely gonna try to stick with using this going forward. I have seen it for sale in Australia though, at places like Daiso. And I think they're selling it for like almost $30. Some other like smaller businesses are selling it for like sub 40 Aussie dollars, and at that price point I feel like you can buy something else that probably will give you the same effect. So far as like, if I were to buy that product at the price that I got it at, I would definitely buy it again. I wouldn't say that I'll be spending like $30 a bottle for the shampoo, no way. Another part of the honey range is their hair oils, and I've got the X Deep Moist Hair Oil and the Deep Moist Oil here. In terms of like texture, I would say that a little goes a long way. As with most hair oils, if you use too much, it just makes your hair feel really oily and heavy, but it smells really nice, as do all the honey products. So yeah, I would definitely recommend getting these. Last but not least in the honey range is their cleansing balm. So I've got the moist one. There's a lot more other products in the honey range for the cleansing balms as well. Just depends on what kind of problem I guess you want it to target. This one's just a moisture one, so I just got that. What I really like now and what I really appreciate with this product now is honestly the divots in this. It makes such a difference because sometimes it gets a bit oily and stuff like that. So it actually makes such a difference to be able to open your product so easily. And compared to the Miffy one that I have, it's just really nice to have a lid that is very secure. It won't leak still, I guess, even if I were to travel with the Miffy one, but it's just nice to have something that you know is going to stay on. As for the product itself, the spoon sits in the top, and then you have the balm in here, which I haven't used that much of because I'm trying to work my way through the Miffy one and use the rest of that. But in terms of how this works really amazing. It's got a low melting point, so it just rubs into an oil really quickly, and it takes off my makeup really quickly as well. As for after effect after washing it off, definitely not as smooth as the Miffy one, but it still leaves my skin feeling really clean, and of course I'll do a double cleanse regardless. So yeah, I would definitely buy this again. Compared to the Miffy one, I really do appreciate this packaging a lot more. In terms of the formula, the Miffy was definitely one that I preferred a little bit more just because of how smooth it made my face feel. Something that I never thought I would find myself buying because I'm not a fan of them is dry shampoo in Japan. But there's this one called, or like by a brand called Fujiko. You can see that there. And it basically is a little container, and you pop this off and it's a little puff. And this basically, when you dab it on your head, some of the powder comes up. and it's really nice and fine. And what I find is that this doesn't leave my head feeling like I have product on it. Obviously it comes down to how much you use as well, but compared to a lot of like dry shampoos on the market that I've tried, I always find that it ends up leaving my hair feeling really itchy. Whereas this one didn't, surprisingly. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the applicator as well that made such a difference. But yeah, even it just felt like I had a lot more control as well over with this type of like puff applicator. So yeah, I would recommend getting this. Again, it was just quite hard to find. When I did finally find it, I definitely jumped at it, and I'm really glad I did, because it's really nice to have a dry shampoo that I can actually feel like I can use on a regular basis. Another product that I would definitely recommend buying is the Biore Zero Deodorant. It sounds so silly to be talking about that, but like it's a little roll-on deodorant, and honestly this just smells super clean. It applies really nicely, it doesn't feel sticky. In terms of the formula, it just feels like such a thin liquid, so you don't feel like, I don't know, like moist. I found that like deodorants were just altogether quite difficult to find in Japan as well. So I don't know if I was just looking in the wrong place or something. But yeah, this was really hard to find. But if you can find it and you're looking for a new deodorant, I'd recommend getting this. I would definitely recommend buying some makeup while you're in Japan, if that's something that you're into. I really like the Canmake eyeshadows. I've been using the crap out of this one, so you can obviously see which color has been my most favorite, and then also the blush as well. This one's in the color 02, and it's more of like a peachy kind of like pink. I really like these products, and they're quite cheap as well. I think they're considered as like a pharmaceutical brand over there, so it's not really like particularly fancy. But I find that the color payoff is actually really, really good, and these don't feel chalky at all. Something that I would not buy again is the Momo Ururi SPF Stick 50. And I say this as more of a general like comment to like sunscreen sticks. I just don't really find the applicators like very, very useful. Realistically, I don't know how. Maybe it's just like I don't know how to really use it, but I just don't really want to be using like a glue stick all over my face or my body, or I don't know if you're meant to like just rub it and then just apply it after. But yeah, I don't like the concept of it. I just don't find it very usable. Like if I was gonna rub it onto my hand and then rub it on somewhere else, I'd much rather have a cream. I feel like that's way more intuitive to use. So look, I don't know if it's user error. If you have a way to use it, please let me know, because I don't know, maybe it's just one of those things where it's not as intuitive to me as it is to other people. There is a store in Japan that I really think is worth checking out, and it's called 3Coins. And there I bought some UV nail gel, which I actually haven't tried out yet, so I'm not gonna add this into the video. But I have tried one of the lip glosses that I bought from there, and this was awful. It's greasy, the color's yuck. I also, let me show you. I don't know if you can see that, but the brush is actually a bit gray, and when I actually pulled it out of the tube for the first time, I actually thought that the lipstick went moldy. In terms of the product itself, slides everywhere, transfers everywhere, it feels very, very oily. I would really highly discourage people from buying this, no matter how cheap it is. And I get that it's a cheaper store in that sense, but also at the same time, like you can get cheaper products from like Donki Quijote, and they work really well. So I don't feel like that's kind of like the justification as to why it's such a crap product, but yeah, maybe that feeds into it. Another product that I would not buy again is the Muji blush. This is what it looks like. Just in this, it's really minimalist, and I actually do really like that. I like the brand for that. As for like the lipstick, I thought the lipstick was really good, so I kind of had high hopes for like the other product items that they had. No, the blush is really, really chalky. The color payoff is crap. and it's just really hard to load onto a brush because of how chalky it is. And in terms of the actual color payoff, also very crap. So look, I'd say save your money, don't bother. If you're also headed to 3Coins, I would definitely recommend looking at their bag solutions. I bought this bag for $15 and I ended up getting one for my parents as well, because I really feel like they appreciate a good bag that is foldable down for holidays, and that has just lots and lots of pockets. So if I can kind of just, you saw how small it was before, and this is what it expands to. This big bag. It's got 2 sleeves here, so you can like hook it onto your like wheelie luggage bag. There's even like a little pocket here with a zip at the front there. That same sleeve thing is in the back as well here. There's pockets here, a little mesh pocket on either side. Double zip. And then when you open it up, it's like one big bag, but there's also like more compartments. It is just so thick. It doesn't feel like it's gonna burst at the seams. That has happened to us before with other bags. It has been the best thing, and even my parents have been the ones who have said that it's amazing. And my parents are so picky about travel bags and stuff that they travel with. And yeah, they love it. So anyway, I hope that this was really helpful. I hope this video helps inform you, perhaps on things you might want to buy if you were to visit Japan. Just a little bit more, just so you have an idea of what is out there and what products are worth getting, I guess, in my opinion, and what's not. Hopefully it gives you an idea of where to go as well, and I hope that the little tips that I've kind of scattered out throughout the video are helpful so that you can get everything that you want to get over in Japan. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. See ya, bye. So much cheaper.